I don't know what to do. I can pick up things from clinical practice. I give something and it works. I try it in somebody and it works again. I say, this works. So it's not that difficult. But I know to convince the broader scientific community, you got to go through all that really complicated stuff that's fantastic, and it's irrefutable then. The next girl, a 34-year-old, came to me because she read Marianne's book, and she's married with 2 children, chronic progressive MS. In October of 2005, she'd been on interferon injections for 5 years. She came to me, difficulty walking with a stick, extreme fatigue, reduced power in her arms and legs, difficulty writing, and my interest, nasty premenstrual symptoms lasting for 7 days and long irregular cycles. But a month later, she calls me and says, your classic miracle drug, I'm walking without my crutches. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I got her to come back for review. I want to see these people. I want to look them in the eye. And I want to look and I want to see that this is not a placebo effect. This is real. And when she came in, the first time I saw her, she was drawn, grey, haggard, dour, sad, really just dragged herself to be there and had the weight of the world on her shoulders. She came skipping in, bright-eyed, smiling, without her stick. And I said, girl, you are so different. You have really changed. Dramatic improvement in her energy and mood. She used to have to go to bed at 4 or 5 o'clock every afternoon. Her husband's life was transformed. Her kids' life was transformed. She had 2 young girls. She said within days, the sensation that she had previously lost had turned into her feet. No longer was she walking on cotton wool. She was walking on the floor again. And she was delighted. And there are few things in life that give me more pleasure than helping patients with infertility have a child, but naltrexone comes very, very close. Now I'm starting to get bold. Now I feel, hang on a minute here, we've got something we can really work with here. This drug kicks butt, and now I don't have the data to back it up, but I've got clinical experience, and I'm looking at patients right before my eyes. I've heard people say it, and I've tried it for myself, and I have seen the promise delivered in practice, and it's stunning. And the frightening thing is to think how many people are being deprived the benefits of this fantastic drug because of doctors being too frightened to prescribe it for all the wrong reasons. We're not frightened to prescribe it because it's going to cause a fatality or because it's going to cause an infection. We're frightened because we might get sued. To thank my sister for her book, and she's changed my life, so fair play to you, Marianne. It's fantastic, and for everybody involved in this work, it's great. And it's really important for everybody who's come here because, you know, you really do change lives with this. So with all this naltrexone coming up in all the clinical cases, I said, what about my fertility patients? When I started with this, I thought maybe 5, maybe 10% of my patients would need it. It's actually closer to 50. I looked at what Hilders wrote, and he said in high dose, he started to get great results with naltrexone. But he switched it. Instead of 4 times a day, he started to give it as a single dose at night. He measured the endorphin levels before and after naltrexone to confirm that the endorphin levels increased as a result of giving naltrexone. And the results for premenstrual symptoms were huge, that before we did get improvement of like 34 to 42%, but now we've got 90% marked dramatic improvement in premenstrual symptoms, which brings us to a new level because we know if you've got chronic resistant PMS, it's going to be much harder for you to have a successful pregnancy. So this is a marker we use. We sort the PMS, we're going to sort the fertility problem as well. We know there's a statistically significant link between endorphin deficiency and infertility, especially infertility with endometriosis. Furthermore, 50% of women with polycystic ovaries also have endometriosis. The substantial evidence indicates that endometriosis shares many similarities with autoimmune diseases. So the idea is naltrexone. It's got to stop this in its tracks. I'm even going further to think, how much will it remove the endometriosis that's already established there? I kind of picked my clinical criteria, and if a patient has resistant premenstrual symptoms that haven't improved despite our usual hormonal treatment, a personal or family history of an autoimmune disorder or endometriosis, from February of 2005, I was putting all patients coming to me with that kind of a profile on LDN. I've put about 100 women on it at this stage. So NAPRO technology, I think, is especially suited to this because we get real-time daily biological feedback on the fertility chart that we work with. There's one other condition as well, in fact, that's very important, nasty menopausal symptoms. A lot of women that have horrible PMS during the reproductive life continue the curse during the menopause, and they get the worst menopause ever. And I'm very, very suspicious that that's based on endorphin deficiency. I've one patient that I've just started treatment on for that as well.